Hello, thinkers and explorers of the mind. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine journeying through the vast realms of your consciousness. Among the swirling thoughts and ideas, there's one that has perhaps teased and eluded you. What indeed is justice? This question, ancient as time itself, beckons us today, inviting us to dive deep into its intricacies. And who better to guide us than the philosophical luminary Plato, through his magnum opus, the Republic. Set against the backdrop of classical Athens, the Republic is not just a treatise, but a dialogue, a symphony of voices harmonizing and clashing in the quest for truth. At the center of this epic discourse is Socrates, Plato's intellectual hero, steering the conversation towards that elusive understanding of justice. Our first encounter with justice in this dialogue presents a seemingly candid notion that justice might be about doing good to friends and harm to enemies. A palpable sense of familiarity might arise within you, dear listeners, for isn't this a sentiment we often hear even today? Yet beneath this surface simplicity lies a profound conundrum, which Plato is quick to spotlight. Consider this. How do we define friends and enemies? What if our judgment errs and we mislabel one as the other? Plato, through the inquisitive voice of Socrates, prods us to reflect, is it the just or the unjust man who is most likely to do wrong to his fellow citizens and friends? Suddenly the concept of justice feels less concrete, more nebulous, a vast ocean of gray. Yet the dialogue does not stop there. Enter Thrasymachus, with his fiery conviction, declaring that justice is none other than the interest of the stronger. It's a stance that, at first glance, may appear jaded, suggesting that power is the sole arbitrator of right and wrong. But let's ponder a moment. Haven't there been times in history, or perhaps even in our contemporary world, where those with might have indeed determined what is right? Could there be a kernel of truth in Thrasymachus's assertion? Listeners, as we walk side by side on this philosophical odyssey, I'd like you to introspect. Where do you find yourself in this vast tapestry of ideas? Is justice, for you, a beacon of moral righteousness, an edict of the dominant, or perhaps a combination of both? Or even more tantalizing, could it be something we haven't yet grasped? As we stand on the cusp of deeper revelations, allow me to leave you with a few enigmatic queries. In the theater of life, is justice an objective actor, or is it shaped by the ever-shifting scenery of society and power? If the latter holds true, does that make justice a mutable entity, transforming with each epic's ethos? As we delve deeper into the waters of Plato's The Republic, the complexity of justice becomes more pronounced. Socrates, in his characteristic probing manner, guides the dialogue into an allegorical realm. He draws a compelling analogy between the justice of an individual and that of an entire city. By examining justice's dynamics in a vast entity like a city, we might comprehend its nuances within the microcosm of a person. Socrates paints the picture of a hypothetical city, a vision of utopia. Here, individuals have distinct roles, from the producers like artisans and farmers to warriors and rulers. In this framework, justice emerges when each class performs its respective duty without intruding upon the responsibilities of others. As he suggests, when each class in the city minds its own business, the money-making class as well as the auxiliaries and the guardians, that would be justice. Here we observe the rhythm of harmony, a symphony where each player contributes to a grander melody. The discourse doesn't halt at cities, however. Plato, diving deeper, dissects the human soul, identifying three core components: the rational, seeking truth; the spirited, craving honor; and the appetitive, yearning for physical pleasures. Much like the city's harmony, justice within the soul emerges when each part functions harmoniously, avoiding undue interference. At this juncture, a question arises. Is justice simply about adhering to one's designated path? The true essence of justice is more intricate. requires not just playing a designated role, but also recognizing, understanding, and acting in harmony with one's inner nature. Such alignment radiates balance, inherently promoting just actions externally. Yet discerning one's true nature isn't straightforward, especially amidst the cacophony of external influences. How does one ensure they're on the right path and, consequently, acting justly? Paul Marcus, contributing to the dialogue, throws in an essential query. What about errors in judgment, like confusing a friend for an enemy? This deepens our understanding, highlighting that justice isn't just about deeds but intentions, not just roles but discernment. As we navigate through this philosophical maze, we realize justice is dynamic and evolving. It beckons introspection, awareness, and a heart aspiring for internal and external harmony. While we've journeyed far into this exploration of what Plato meant by justice, our voyage is far from over. With newfound perspectives and lingering questions, let's steer our ship towards the practical shores, where theory meets reality and philosophy intertwines with everyday life. As listeners, the tales of antiquity may sometimes seem removed from our bustling modern lives. Yet, when we peel back the layers of philosophy, especially one as profound as Plato's view on justice, tangible connections emerge. For instance, when we talk about internal harmony and the soul's balance, how often do we find ourselves wrestling with conflicts of interest? Daily, we navigate the tumultuous sea of choices. Do we, driven by the appetitive part of our soul, indulge in that extra energy drink, or does the rational voice in us guide towards restraint? Perhaps in our workplace, a spirited urge to be recognized by our boss competes with the rational understanding of collaboration. Plato's insights on the soul's parts aren't mere theoretical constructs. They echo in our everyday dilemmas. Furthermore, when faced with societal roles, isn't it tempting to overstep, judge, or try to wear another's shoes without understanding their journey? The hypothetical city that Socrates conjures mirrors our societies. Justice, then, isn't just about adhering to our roles, but recognizing and respecting the roles of others. I recall a personal episode where I faced such a crossroads. While seeking a better understanding of where my relationship at the time was going sour, I looked outward for a solution. There I found a friend in a similar situation as myself, and opted to help advise them, fundamentally avoiding my own personal duties to myself. The result? I lost focus on where I needed to be, and my relationship eventually became too unstable to carry on. And to add to the matter, my advice to my friend did nothing but complicate the problems they were facing. Reflecting upon it through Plato's lens, my intentions, though I perceived them as noble, instead disrupted the harmonious functioning of our theoretical city. Listeners, as these ancient dialogues resonate with our modern tales, ponder this. Where in your life can you create harmony by understanding and embodying your true role? As we transition into actionable insights, consider how these lessons can be woven into your daily tapestry. The realms of philosophy often float above our heads like clouds we can't quite grasp, yet today, I invite you to tether these lofty ideas of justice and internal harmony into tangible actions in your world. This is why at the end of each video I make 2 requests. The first is a quick activity. Take a quiet moment today to reflect on a recent decision or action. Was it driven by appetite, spirit, or reason? Just recognizing the driving force behind our choices is the first step to achieving the balance Plato speaks of, and the second request is more of a deep dive. Set aside an hour this week. Write or journal about your roles in the different cities of your life: family, work, community. Are you playing your part harmoniously? Where might you be overstepping? Or where might you need to step up? As we journeyed from the broad strokes of Plato's notions of justice to their practical implications, and now towards introspection, remember that knowledge without application remains a dormant seed. Nurture it with action and watch it grow. If this exploration resonated with you, consider supporting this voyage of discovery. Subscribe to this channel so I can continue following my passion, and together we'll dive into more profound insights. And remember, everyone, day by day, continue to strengthen who you are so you can become who you are supposed to be.